Hello and welcome. Yig here. Today we are looking at Net.Attack. This just came out in 1.0. I know I did promise to not spam you with two videos a day, but this is a really good game, so you should know that. So this is a node-based roguelite where you are basically hacking a computer. And so if you like the gameplay you see here, there'll be a link to the Steam page in the description if you want to help the channel grow. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Okay, so right now they do have a set of tutorial levels, which is pretty cool in here. And then there's a daily challenge, which is currently running a character I don't actually have, but I'm not good enough to try that. I'm struggling. The tutorial is actually pretty good. It does help you out. We're going to go right in here. There are... I unlocked somebody when I hit rank 6, but I don't know who it was because they're in the coming soon category. This is the character you start with. This character, if you played the beta, you'll be familiar with him. He was your character in beta. We're going to jump in here with this guy. I'm not very good at him, but we're going to do it anyway. So, we're going to go in here. Each area has its own... Oh. I wonder if... Okay, between sand and palm... I wonder... I think when I did after I beat enough of these, it opened... No, this may be what I unlocked. So we have a new area. So I'm going to go over here, though, because this character's hard. All right, at least for me so far. Now, jumping in. This character actually works a little bit different. Now, the reason I find this character difficult is this character doesn't have a lot in the way of, like, getting hit points back. And when I say it doesn't have a lot in the way with it, I mean, basically, if it isn't dropped like that, you're probably not getting it back. So it does make him a little harder to play than the initial character, because the initial character has access to a heal on a fairly long cooldown, but it is a heal, and that can make a huge difference. So this character, has a bunch of other things. Okay, let's go with infection. When this is basically your infection damage, so it's damage times infection stacks, damage plus 30 plus infection stacks times this multiplier. That actually helps out a lot because we're infecting things all the time. If you look in the corner, it'll tell you how many globally are infected, and most of his upgrades work off of that. Now he works pretty different. Like the other character in the demo and everything had a ping, which was basically like a laser. All right, you want to make sure you get some experience, especially in these first early levels, because you will packet hit count. Okay, I think that increases the number of like hits, like penetrations. Like it can go through more than one. Or I don't know. But we want to get our infections up as high as possible, and once we go to the end of this, so you could actually do this beforehand. I usually wait until the end of the first level to do any of my sort of luck's probably not a bad idea. Luck's probably a really good idea, actually. We'll go with it. We'll go with luck. All right, so if you look up here, I'm going to go to extract data because I believe that speeds us up for the extraction. If you look up here, this is how much we need, which is where that was, and then we get it. You'll see that green arrow there. That tells us where our next, where our exit is, because we've already exceeded the threshold of the data that we needed. Let's get these guys off of here for our for leaving this level. And that can come in really important. It doesn't, maybe early game you're probably like, I don't see why not ever going to leave a level. But like I've had some matches where I was just barely scraping in there, but was able to do it. I will probably grab this last one because it's close enough and we can get another XP or two, which would be really great. We're going to go with no damage. No damage is really good because it's just a flat bonus across all of your attacks. Attack damage, I should say. So when you get to in between, or if you hit E during the run, you can actually get in here as well. You will get to this node tree. You're going to get when you do it at the end of the level, you get a premium node, which can be really, really ridiculously strong. And here is a good example of that. This is we want to. So now we'll do a 25% chance to do this. So in this case, this will hit it, and this will infect a whole bunch of things in range with 3 stacks. So that's going to be pretty darn good. All right, now you'll notice we have 2 more here, and I'm going to go over this a little bit right here so you know what's happening. These corruption ticks are from the infection, so this will actually automatically trigger every time something globally gets up to 16 stacks. So this is actually, these 2 are actually really important. But this one, you kind of want a node tree that's using all the branches, because each branch is parallel, which means that only the highest addition of millisecond branch is what's making the effect here. So at this moment, we could add 300 milliseconds to these two branches, and it's not going to do any, it's not going to hurt us one single bit. Optimizers are amazing. We're going to buy it, and then we're going to, hopefully we get something else here. Infectant range, another 100 milliseconds. We'll definitely buy that, because I do like that. And if we can get one, there we go. There's a send packet right there. We can actually set up a second set right there. Send packet, and we're going to basically be doing something similar to what we did on the first line. And that's going to get us, well, in our case, it's actually going to get us more projectiles and more being shot. You won't notice it as distinctly as when it's like the laser, because when it's the lasers, you can just see there's like 8 more lasers at that point. Okay. I was too excited for the XP. I need to get the no damage going up a little bit. Yep, definitely want that. All right. So yeah, the laser guy does seem a little bit stronger overall. Not necessarily stronger, but he does seem a little more survivable because he does have access to some heals, as I said. I'm leaving tons of XP behind, but that's also because we're on a timer. And as the timer goes on, the level gets harder, but also the overall level. So Risk of Brainish sort of style there. I really need something to do more damage to these guys. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. Here, too close. All right, let's see. I think infection tick rate, probably not terrible. See, that'll increase our overall rate of chips that we get off of here, so that'll actually be a really good idea. We can both hit the minimum we need faster, but also just get more overalls. That way we can afford more upgrades, and you can start getting some really cool stuff in these node trees. Like there's a setup with the character that you have at the very beginning, the first one, where you can have these lasers coming out of these pings, is what it's called, and they basically are effectively a laser from a more traditional light. Yes, he hits. My problem is he doesn't do a huge amount of damage. And he also does, like, so without a heal, he has some survivability issues, this guy. Oh, and everything starts to get tanky real fast. But the ping on that one, there's a combo that character can do. Just have to do that for a moment. All right, there we go. That gets us a chunk of guys out of our way. Let's pick up some XP on our way. We'll go over there. There we go. No damage or extraction rate. I think we're going to go extraction rate. Simply, I do want no damage, but the extraction rate will get us off the pad faster, and if we can do that, that'll help us stay alive too. All right, so, well, let's see. We do want to start making use of this because we know we're hitting 16 stacks from the end of that one. So, send packet 2 infected. Fire the projectile that infected targets apply infection to nearby targets. So if this hits somebody who already is infected, it will spread their infection. Interesting. So yeah, there's some cool stuff in here because you have like combines, you have spawning mines, you have things, and there's also targeting nodes. There's also like this. So for 3 meters, you could go like this. Okay, so what I want you to do, and that would be centered on me at that point. So if I wanted to go here, I could go like this, and then I could go over here and say, spawn me a mine. Absolutely absurd amount of... We'll do it, though. We'll do it down here, because that's the big one, and... Oops. Wrong thing. We'll get there again. We'll find it again. We'll build this right here. Okay. Oh, there's a spawn me a mine. Okay, so 22 damage. That's not too bad. Let's grab it. We'll go like that. Okay, so now this one will occasionally be spawning a mine when there's enough things that are in between us, and it might even spawn more than one mine. I think it will, which is going to be pretty nice. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to take this and we're just going to go down here because it's not going to hurt our time at all. And we can combine stuff. We can optimize for that to happen more often. So for example, if we want to go over here and do this, optimizations are great for this because when you hook it up, now we have a significant less thing. And each character has sort of, so far that I've been able to try, has sort of their own little way of representing their attacks, and they work really well. See that big circle around us? That was our one that we were just working on. So it's kind of cool how many things. Yeah, see, there's our mine. Nice. It's kind of cool how many things you can do with this system, and the tutorial actually shows you a bunch of really good ones. All right, let's see if we can get one of these guys out here for the big thing. There we go. Look at that. Oh, yeah, if we can crank up the node damage on that now, that's pretty good. We still need some healing, though. I think we're going to go node damage. Start cruising around. So yeah, this game allows you so much creativity in what you're doing and how you're doing it, because you have a node tree to play with. And as they showed you in the tutorial, like, there was some stuff in there that I was like, oh, hey, cool. This is a thing you can do. Like, you can actually learn the kind of the basic behaviors of like node-based stuff. So which is kind of handy as more and more professional equipment actually becomes node-based. All right, let's see. We could get more mines. I think I'm going to. Oh, we should have. I probably should have increased my baseline infection probability. Look at that. Look at all those mines too. Once it cranks out those mines, they're just now. Well, maybe this is what I should have been doing the whole time. +4 damage. Don't mind if I do. Oh yeah, look at us go. We have, I think this is the best damage I've had with him. Of course, usually, but once we start getting a bunch of things that throw, once we start getting a bunch of things that shoot at us, that's when I kind of, with this guy, end up getting a little dunked on. And things are going to get faster, so which definitely makes it harder in his case. So, I gotta find some way to heal him. I haven't found. Oh, wait. You know what? We haven't seen it, but I wonder if he has the ability to get the. There's a card. There's one of these. Since we haven't seen it, I'm kind of gonna feel like he doesn't maybe not have it. I need to figure out a way to heal though. Send packet to most infected for twice, but that adds 500 milliseconds. 350 millisecond optimize. All right. Okay. So. Let's see. For each infected. So if we do that, we are essentially down to a 500 millisecond cooldown, which doesn't sound bad, but we could essentially build. Buy that. Okay, so we could build something in here, which we shall. Okay, so infected packet, fires a projectile. All right, applies 3 infection. Okay, we're going to have to wait on that, but here's what we can do. We'll fire this up next turn, and we'll get it to where it's starting to do some crazy good stuff. We've got the basis. Now, hopefully, I can get good and not get hit all the time. We do seem to be doing some pretty cranking damage at this point. We're generating mines at a good clip whenever there's anyone near us, because we're back down to that sort of baseline on that. So that's not too bad. Plus, our stacks are actually starting to... That extra 4 damage we got on that last upgrade of damage-wise. Really putting in some work. Oh, sir, I don't really want to. Thank you. I don't really want to be in bad breath range, sir. No. No. Okay. Nope. Oh. Okay. We are at the threshold. Sadly, kind of for our life, too. Where are we at? Okay. Up. Oh, let's get out of here before we lose any more life. Okay, let's see. We have an explosive packet, which is 400 milliseconds. Okay, so for our starter one, we're going to do that, and then we're going to optimize this thing to give us just 50 milliseconds. Then we're going to take Now we know we can easily do this, and that's going to crank it up to 200, but that means we can add something here. So what I'm going to be hoping to find is a 4 node. And maybe a little money so I can afford it. Oh, nope, nope, they're still here. Oh, we got a precious piece of life. More damage. It's the only thing keeping us alive right now is the damage. Not gonna lie. Oh, we need more. We need more precious life. Will you guys drop more if I kill all of you? I mean, it's kind of up in the air. Like, ooh, yeah, you did. Like, more people are dropping. Ooh. Oh, thankfully, the thing I accidentally grabbed was the thing that I wanted to grab. And that was the one that actually speeds this up just a little bit. Okay, we're actually doing pretty significant chunks of damage here. All right. Feel like that corner is dry. It is indeed. Go up this way. I'm sure I missed the lower left corner. And my routing here just got weird, but sometimes it is what it is. I agree with my fiance. I hate that phrase. It's not that it's a bad phrase in general, because I've said it myself a million times, but it's because of what type of phrase it is that it's not great. It's what is referred to as a self-terminating. It's not a self-terminating cliche. I can't remember what the exact. But basically, it is a phrase that is designed to shut down conversation. So you would use the phrase to just say, we don't want to. So it's the application and the way the phrase works is it shuts down the conversation about the subject because it is what it is and we can't do anything is the idea. And so it is. It might actually be a self-terminating cliche. I think I can't remember if it's. I don't think it's cliche the word, but basically what it is that it's a thing that makes you, instead of being able to talk and think about something, it shuts down the brain process on it intentionally so you don't give it any more thought. Which is usually not good. So, more damage. Oh yeah, that damage is just... That damage is getting us good. All right. So, we still have 2 more levels to go, so... Okay, now 200 milliseconds, and we did that other explosive one is tempting. Infect in range. Okay, so if we go with you, and then we go with, let's reroll that. Why is that blue? It has a terrible... I would question that rarity. All right, let's get one more reroll in here. What I want to do is I wanted to get it out here to where it's about the same. So right now we can... This is our big one, but I can shove something in here and actually make use of this space. And so, because we're going to be up here doing that no matter what I want is something to put there. And I was really hoping for a double shot. Those are usually real nice. And then on hit, you could go for an explosive. That's only 25% of the time, though, and that's one of the reasons why. Sometimes those aren't the greatest. We do have a split. We'll buy that just in case, because... Select non-infected. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you on hit, and then you infect everything in range. And that should help out a lot. Okay, cool. Let's go. Yeah, the extra damage that we've got, plus the... that actually destroys things at this point. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of terms that are included in that. It's actually kind of weird when you look it up and you learn about it and you start figuring out like the times that you've done it, the times that it's been done to you, where you probably should be thinking about things a little bit more, but the way it was phrased and the way things were said was in a way that you didn't. I find that younger me did not think things through very well. I don't know that I think things through great now, but it definitely was worse before. Like now it's just questionable. Back then it was definitely worse. That's also something that, like, for people who are here at this point, usually you'll probably be the people who are usually here for the whole episode. And there's quite a few, actually. I was actually surprised when I checked and saw how many people actually stay for the whole thing, which is a really nice thing. And for those who have been here, you've heard about my sleep. The machine is finally supposedly ready for me to go get the thing. I guess, maybe. Okay, yeah. So what I was about to say was one of the most important things that I discovered when I started looking at things closer was I had to be willing to be wrong. That was it. That was like the hardest part right there. All right, I think we might be okay where we're at, unless we could like dredge up a optimizer somewhere in here. Okay, we have a select hack. I don't select me too much though. Split works really well. There's actually I did that with one of the other characters. Healing. One of the healing upgrades can only be triggered once per cycle. Because you do each of those different node tree. Each node tree goes through its own cycles, and you can only do it once per cycle for the healing. But you can also split the node and attach 2 healing for an extra whole 50 milliseconds on something that already has like a 3000 millisecond timer. 50 milliseconds is a really cheap price to pay for a second one. I was like, wow, that's actually really economical. Phew. Yeah, that was a weird thing because it's not that you're supposed to think you're wrong all the time. That's not what being like aware and being able to be wrong means. It just means that if you find out something new, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, that changes what I remember or what I knew, and oh, okay, cool. That's just that's you go that with that, and it's like, and as soon as you don't make it like an embarrassment to yourself, because there's no reason to be embarrassed, especially in today's world. Like not knowing something in today's world is substantially easy because there's just so much noise. So it's easy to get caught up in a bunch of other things, and nobody can pay attention to everything. One of the coolest things about this job is that I see we'll take Next Fest, which I've talked about a lot because it just happened. When you look at Next Fest, I went to, where's my thing at? Oh, it's down below. Well, let's get rid of these guys first. When I ran into a ton of really great games at Next Fest. But I also played a ton of games at Next Fest. Yay! We completed our data heist. That was the one that I had already done, which was okay. But yeah, oh gosh, now I forgot. My brain is just shutting down. It's like, nope, you're done. Outro time. But yeah, it was like basically not taking it as something personal. Like I can see, I tried over 30 games at Next Fest, and I still see a bunch of videos on games that I never even saw. Either they weren't suggested to me, or I just didn't see them, or maybe I saw a screenshot, and I've seen amazing games besides those that I had seen. And it reminds me that, like, yeah, when you have 20,000 games showing up a year on Steam, like, I might be able to see less than 1%. You know, you can't know everything anymore. There's just too much information out there. So you can't like make it an ego thing if you don't know something, because honestly, there's just a huge amount of information out there. So at least that's the way I feel now. It's an interesting learning path, because you start to figure out like, oh, okay, I can not know things, and that's fine. It's okay. And you know, I can learn about them now. Hey, that's how it works. So besides the weird that weird tangent at the end. If you enjoyed this, again, there'll be a link to the Steam page in the description. And if you enjoyed the video, I hope you come back for the next one. And most of all, as always, have a great day.